Hey guys, if you're new here, hello, my name is Erin. I am a homeschooling mom to 3 kiddos, ages 9, 7, and 3. And today I'm going to be sharing my upcoming school plans for my youngest, Eden, who is 3, she's 3.5, and we're going to be doing some simple little preschool learning with her in the fall. Before we get started, I did want to mention this video is in collaboration with Ashlee from Dash of Home. Ashlee is hosting a huge list of back to school collaboration topics for this week. I'll link Ashlee's channel down below, so hop on over to her channel, subscribe to her. She has lots of homeschooling tips and advice, curriculum videos. You will find lots of good stuff on her channel, and you will find all of these playlists on her channel as well. I will link her channel and also the playlist for this topic down below. So in this video today, I'm going to share what my plans are for her as far as preschool learning, and I'm also going to share my take on preschool learning, so how we handle preschool learning, and I'm also going to share some of the things that we have done in the past for my oldest too, as far as preschool age. So Easton is my oldest. He is currently 9 years old, and so when he was preschool age, we did no set strict preschool curriculum. He was with me one-on-one, full-time, all day, 24/7, and he just naturally learned with what I was doing, and it was just me and him all day, every day. And it's sweet to think back to those days, because he was my little buddy and we just did everything all day together. And I love all of my kiddos. There's just sweet memories about thinking back to those early days. So with him, we just did natural learning. He watched a lot of educational YouTube videos, and we played a lot of games. We colored, we did puzzles, we went outside whenever we wanted to. So his was just very natural, interest-led learning. We did no set preschool curriculum. So when he entered kindergarten, that was the first formal curriculum that we chose to do for him. So that's how we handled preschool for my oldest. And then for Zoe, who is currently 7, she is entering 2nd grade. But for preschool for her, so at that time she was, she would have been 4. And my son Easton was 6, so he was entering kindergarten. She had expressed that she would like to have her own little thing to do. So I purchased this preschool curriculum for her, God's Little Explorers, and this was written by Stacey Ann Nelson. You can find this on her website, motherhoodonadime.com. I'll link it down below. We did not do this super strict, but we did do a lot of the days in here. And this also brings back really sweet memories spent with Zoe and her early preschool age days. I would recommend this if you are looking for a very simple introduction to letter learning. It's Christian, so it's biblically based, and I loved this because it was like an adventure through the alphabet, but it also went through the Bible. So it didn't necessarily teach the alphabet in order, which was fine because she already knew her ABCs in order, but it went through the Bible. So it started with actually the letter X, I believe, was the very first letter that she reviewed, and the theme was X marks the spot, and it took the introduction to the Bible. So X marks the spot, so that's the beginning of our faith and how we should start each day is with God's word. And so it just goes through the Bible. And so then the letter A, I believe, was like Apple and Adam and Eve. It just kind of went through the letters, and it always had a Bible story to line up with. So that was really sweet. And it had some hands-on things. It had an extra book recommendations and worksheets and a slight math introduction. So again, we kind of picked and we chose what we wanted to do specific days. I think we may have only done 3 to 4 days a week, and it was just an hour or two in between everything else that I was doing with Easton at the time. So that's how we handled Zoe. And again, she did some educational YouTube videos, educational games, and then just games here and there we would include with Easton's schooling, and we would include her in those as well. And then I also, for Zoe, when she technically entered into her kindergarten year, I also used the Easy Peasy preschool curriculum for her as well, just mainly to review her letters. So she was technically in kindergarten, but I did go ahead and use the preschool, it was technically the preschool age curriculum for her, and that was great as well. It was pretty hands-on, excuse me, very simple. Lots of review of letters, letter sounds, and she loved the little story that went along with it. I will link Easy Peasy's website down below. I did purchase the workbook for her, but you can access all of the printables for free online if that is something that sounds like you would be interested in. I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I feel about preschool learning. So I knew that I never wanted to send my kids to preschool. And again, let me start off by saying there is nothing wrong with however you choose to school your children. I'm very aware that a lot of parents work and their children, they need childcare for their children. And so given the option of a babysitter or a daycare, if I would have been in this situation, I would have chosen a daycare that also was educationally based, if that makes sense. I would have chosen something that would have taught them those very early alphabet, numbers, practice, colors, shapes, all of those things. And there are lots of good options out there. But as far as me being home full-time with my kids and the way that our family structure is set up and has been set up, I personally do not feel that preschool is something that needs to be pushed super strict and super hard. Now, I am very aware that certain children want that and that children are naturally curious. And so I think that the preschool age and the preschool time should be devoted more so to getting the child excited about learning, excited to sit down and go through activities and go through books and get excited about the idea of structured learning. Now, again, all children are different. Some children are able to sit a little bit longer than others. Most 3 to 4 year olds are not able to sit for very long, and that's normal. So again, just find some interest-led things. For us, that has been the best fit for us in those age and those time frames. Now, depending on how many children you have, this could change as well. If you already have older children who are sitting at the table doing work, then yes, you're probably going to want to find some books or activity books or activities that are educational that your younger children can sit and be included as well. And so that's how I kind of feel about the preschool age. That's kind of my take on it. So with all of that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share what I have planned for our youngest for the upcoming school year. And she is 3.5. Her name is Eden. And she is a very curious, bright child, and she likes to sit with us and she likes to do things with us when we're doing the older kids' lessons. So I'm going to share a few things that I have purchased and that I have set aside for her for educational learning. Some of these things I already have had on our shelf, and some of them I have purchased. So I have linked everything down below that I was able to. If I've missed anything or if anyone has any further questions about any of it, please let me know and I'm happy to help. So the first thing that I have purchased for Eden, this is new for us, and this was I also included in my new to us homeschool item video, which I posted, or once this video goes live, that video will have already gone live as well. But these are the doodles and pre-writing for littles, and these are from The Good and the Beautiful. So there's a part 1 and then there's a part 2, and this will be the first time we've used these, and they're just very simple, basically like tracing, getting them ready to hold a pencil. And it looks like, yep, there's letter review in the back there, which is nice. A lot of what we're going to be focusing on is letter sounds and little number introduction, tracing. She knows most of her shapes already and she's good with her colors. So we're just gonna hit the letter sounds really hard. So I went ahead and I bought those, and these she will use in the mornings when she's sitting at the table with us. We'll just open them up and they'll be her little books that she can have access to. And then to go along with the letter introduction and the letter practice, I went ahead and I purchased the Easy Peasy Preschool printables. This is the black and white, and I got the black and white because I plan to mainly just use the letter pages in here. Let me hold up. Let me show you how this works. So with each letter, there is a different character. So for B, there's Betty the bee, and so she'll be able to color this page, and then we'll just pick and choose. I'm not gonna do the whole entire book here. I may revisit this again next year. So I don't know how many of these little activities we'll do, but the whole week is structured around that specific letter. So then there's a little story where you just talk about the B words. So they're supposed to find the letters. We'll see. I'm anticipating her not necessarily being able to do that quite yet. Maybe she'll surprise me, but we'll probably just read this little story each week, and then we'll just focus on the letter and the letter sound, and we'll go from there. And then so for some extra letter practice, I have this letter puzzle. This is like a see and spell. This I got from Amazon. It's Melissa and Doug. And so each side has a picture and then the word spelled out. And then they have all these little tiny colored letter pieces. And then they go through and they find the correct letter that matches the word. And then they spell it, so they have practice spelling it, looking at the picture, and seeing the word spelled out. So a little bit of letter reading practice in there. Again, not super strict, but that'll just be some extra practice on that. Yes, honey.
Can I have marshmallows and can eat them help me?
Can you have marshmallows?
Yeah.
Did you already have a popsicle?
What?
Did you already have a popsicle? No, yes you did. And then this is her favorite book right now. This is an Elmo's Lift and Slide ABC book. I purchased this from Book Outlet. I will link it down below. I'm sure you can find it probably on Amazon as well. And this just, again, goes through all the letters, has a little story. Some of them you lift the flap and some of them you slide. And she just loves going through this. My husband read this to her a few weeks ago and he got really excited with all the words in the little story, and it was really sweet because she had so much fun with it. So that's her favorite book right now. Good ABC learning review and practice. And then I also recently purchased this Very Hungry Caterpillar Spin and Seek ABC game. Again, you can revise this. You can play this however works for you. We revised it slightly when we played it the first time. I believe I got this from Amazon. I'll link it down below. I think it was only about $10 or $11. So yep, that's a fun ABC review game that we will use every once in a while. And then as far as math and counting practice, she loves these little counting bears. So let me get these out. I'm sure most of you know what these look like. They come with the colored cups, and then there's little die that you can spin, and there's scoopers, so good fine motor skill practice. And then there's just a bunch of these little rainbow bears. And so they're in all the different colors. And so they can practice sorting, scooping, counting, color matching, and yep, lots of good things that preschoolers can have fun with, but also be learning at the same time. So those are some of our favorite preschool activity books and games that I have set aside for Eden to use in the upcoming fall. So again, I won't push anything too strict, but I will leave everything kind of accessible to her and let her pick and choose what she likes to learn or what she wants to practice learning with. And she absolutely loves to color. So she will sit and color for 20-30 minutes by herself, and she is really amazing. She has perfected her skills, her coloring skills. So she quite often will just sit and she will do that with us at the table. And we also use Starfall. She loves Starfall. So I did pay for the membership for that. It was inexpensive. It was for the whole year. So she'll use that as well. And Zoe will also use that. She enjoys it as well. I think, and I also did just purchase, I was watching Ashlee from Dash of Home. I was watching her school supply haul video on Monday, and she posted the ABC Bob books, and I don't have them physically yet because I literally just ordered them this morning when I was watching her video. So we will use those as well. And that looks like really great focus on letters and letter sounds. So I'm looking forward to them. We have never used the Bob books before, so this will be our first time using them. But I will start with Eden in the Fall with just kind of going through them, sitting and reading the ones that correspond with the letter that we're learning for the week. And I believe that's everything that I have set aside for preschool learning in the fall. If anyone has any questions, please leave them down below. And yep, we will talk very, very soon.